Cody in the morning. WSM. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
From the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center, welcome to WSM Radio and Circle Television. Our Magnolia Lobby studios. I'm Charlie Mattos. That's Eryn Cooper, Coffee, Country,
Hello.
and Cody. Well, we got two of the three, right? I mean, because I got coffee, trust me. Second cup, and it's the coffee and chicory from Community Coffee, so it's stout this morning.
Woo!
I know we got country.
Yeah.
We just ain't got Cody.
Well, we have Charlie, which is a C. We have Cooper, which is a C. So we still have an alliteration situation.
Coffee, Country, and Charlie. Coffee, Country, and Cooper. Yeah, let's get those jingles made.
All right.
I'm going to work on that right now, as a
Beautiful.
matter of fact. Yeah. So Billy Boy's taking a few days off. He'll be back on Thursday. Kelly Sutton has been out at Stagecoach in Indio, California, doing some great work for Prime Video, the Amazon folks. Got to watch a lot of her. She and Amber were fantastic.
Oh, my gosh.
On that. And just what great music. We'll talk about Stagecoach in a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. But she's making the long trek back from Indio to Nashville. By the way, you and I were talking on the radio portion before we joined television, Eryn, that I was debating what was further, Atlanta, Georgia to Seattle or New York to L.A.
Yes.
And I thought for sure it had to be diagonal is longer than across. No, across is longer.
Okay.
By about 150 miles.
That makes sense because, again, I have done D.C. to L.A., LAX, and that is at least a 5-hour flight. Not driving, but just knowing it's genuinely all the way across the country doesn't surprise me.
All right. I hate being wrong so early in the week, too.
But it's Monday. It's okay. It makes sense.
Doesn't bode well for the rest of the week, though. And boy, what a 3 days it was. I watched a lot on Prime Video. They did a fantastic job with the live stream, and Kelly and Amber's interviews for Amazon were fantastic as well. So, but a lot of highlights we're going to focus on this morning, and the Chief was the big highlight of day one.
Yes, day one, Eric Church, the Chief, headlined, and to some mixed reviews, I think, of the choices he made for his performance. So he used his 5th headlining appearance at Stagecoach as an opportunity to try something different. And instead of having his full band on stage, he went to the main stage, M-A-N-E, horse, haha, with just him and his guitar. He did an acoustic set. He made it an open-air church, if you will, had gorgeous stained glass visuals behind him. He did a stripped-down acoustic performance and was backed by a 16-member gospel choir, which is quite interesting.
So it was not just him and a guitar. At least there was some production.
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to Google this.
Oh, yeah. I know. And I know some people were like, it's a festival. You're playing to a mixed crowd of people. You should kind of go with what you know and stick to the classics and the traditional way of doing things. But he didn't. And I give him props for doing what he wanted to do.
Well, I want to say, and I could, time just kind of flies, especially after 2020. But it was at least 4 or 5 years ago at CMA Music Festival. He just told the band, listen, you guys got the night off. I got this. And he just went out and did his whole Nissan Stadium main stage set for a half hour, just him and a guitar.
Wow.
And I swear, if my memory's right, he did it as a medley. Like he never stopped playing. He just segued from one song to the other and just kept playing. And it was fantastic. I mean, it was crazy good. But I guess if you're expecting full band and lots of loud, you didn't get that. But I approve the choice.
Yeah.
I'm Charlie Mattos,
awesome.
and I approve this message. Continue.
No, you got it.
Yeah.
Well, of course, festivals are not just known for making bold, creative choices. Also, it is collaboration nation a lot of times at music festivals, and that was no exception for Stagecoach. And the multitasker collaborator of the whole weekend, I would have to say, was Jelly Roll. To probably no one's surprise, no one made better time of their time there than Jelly. He did a cooking segment with his daughter and Guy Fieri out there. And if we know, Guy Fieri was also a part of an Opry invitation last year for Stagecoach.
With John Party.
John Party.
Yeah. Very
random combination of people. So after Jelly was hanging out with Guy Fieri, he joined Nickelback on stage to do Rockstar, a childhood anthem of mine.
Did not see that collaboration happening.
I don't think, well, there's even a third collaboration that nobody saw coming, and that was Jelly Roll during his set, bringing out Maddie and Tay to do a song together called Liar, a new song from Jelly Roll, which you pointed out.
He debuted at the Grand Ole Opry just a couple of weeks ago. Night I Got My Kiss.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Yeah, that's how that night will be
very
remembered.
historic
But he
night.
did also debut new music.
Yeah.
They both have kids, both Maddie and Tay. So he's Uncle Jelly.
Uncle
Jelly.
Jelly.
You go hang with Uncle Jelly.
And we determined that Aunt Peanut Butter is Lainey Wilson.
I think she would be very happy with that.
Like a little
description.
Candyland game character.
Yeah. Would she not be like the best? No, she's far too busy. But would she not be the best like babysitter? Like, was she? She's just. She would be so great with little kids.
She did kids' birthday parties as Hannah Montana.
Well, there you
she's
go.
already a professional
All right.
babysitter.
There we go. All right.
All right. The last thing we want to touch on, day 3. Post Malone. Not only did he take the stage with Brad Paisley and cover Alan Jackson, he also brought Dwight Yoakam out on stage.
Oh man, he was so pumped to have Dwight Yoakam out there, and then Sarah Evans came out and did a song with him, and it was just a night of covers. It was so cool. I mean, he knows the country catalog. There's no doubt about that.
And one of the most anticipated things has been the collaboration between Post Malone and Morgan Wallen. So Morgan Wallen, of course, brings out Posty to do this song. They have teased so many times. We still don't have a release date for it, but we now know the title of the song, called "I Had Some Help." Help!
All right, if I ever go to Stagecoach, I want her seats.
Yeah.
Because she, or his seats, whoever took the video, because they had a prime location.
No,
there, right?
it was absolutely phenomenal. And as I remarked, the reason why it sounds so clear on the video, the person was so strategically placed where they were near the speakers, but they were off to the side, and they were right in such a huge crowd of bodies that absorbed all of the noise canceling almost. So
you ever been so close, especially at a big event where it's a big speaker, that you can the bass almost changes your heart rhythm?
Oh yeah,
that almost had that feel to it, but I think it was just far enough back. So that's a good song.
Coffee, Country, and Cody on WSM.
Oh, about 8:30 or so, Central Time Zone. Welcome in. Circle Country, WSM Radio. I'm Charlie Mattos. That's Eryn Cooper. It's Coffee, Country, and Cody. And I said we got 2 of the 3. We got a lot of coffee. I'm going to go get another cup. We got the country for sure. Cody, after celebrating 30 years, has said enough of you people. I'm going to take a break. And he's got a few days off. He'll be back on Thursday. And Kelly is making her way back from California, so she'll be back tomorrow. So you had a busy weekend, though.
I did.
You went to a wedding. You got a lot of sun, first off.
Yes. I don't know if we can tell. Well, we have the shot on me here, but I am wearing a blazer because I got horribly lobstered at the pool on Friday after the show. I was like, done with work at 10:30. Let's go to the pool.
That seems like a rookie mistake for you. That you would not be one who has that happen very often.
Well, the mistake was, which I guess is still a rookie mistake,
Right.
I had been out in the sun a few days prior and was like, oh, well, I have a base tan already, so I'll be fine. And I still put a little sunscreen on, but I was out for so long, even though I tried to rotate and flip and whatever. Didn't matter. So I picked the dress I wore to the wedding on Saturday night for my sorority sister. I also strategically picked like a very high neck dress, and I probably still look like a lobster in the pictures with my friends I haven't seen in 5 years. But
it's the one great thing about being Portuguese. Got the base tan all year round.
Coffee, Country, and Cody on WSM.
It's a Monday morning. Thanks for hanging out with us on Circle Country and WSM Radio. I'm Charlie Mattos with Eryn Cooper. Billy Boy on vacation. He'll be back in a few days. And Kelly Sutton, after 3 glorious days, hot but glorious, out at Stagecoach. She's making her way back to Nashville. She'll be with us tomorrow. And unfortunately, if you were watching the news over the weekend, boy, there was a devastating run of tornadoes through the Midwest, huh?
Yes, exactly. So at least 4 people were killed and 100 people were injured after a string of tornadoes barreled through parts of the South and Midwest on Friday and through the weekend. And recovery efforts are now underway in Oklahoma, Nebraska, and Iowa. And during his Friday night show at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Zach Bryan was on stage as these tornado warnings were literally swirling about all around him. And after that show, Bryan and his crew just hit the road and headed west to help those affected by the storms. Here's a picture of him right now if you're watching on Circle Country, just helping load stuff in and out of a truck. Eastern Nebraska and western Iowa were hit really hard by these large tornadoes. And Zach Bryan took to Instagram to make sure people were aware of what's going on. He said, as an American and someone who lived in Omaha for some pretty formidable years of my life, I want to offer some honest prayers and hopes to the communities affected by the tornadoes that tore through them. The band and I are standing with you guys as we are playing some shows in Omaha. I am so sorry to anyone that is having to deal with picking up the pieces.
I forgot he had Nebraska as part of his roots.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't know where that was in my brain, but I forgot about that. Well, good for him to help out there.
I mean, we in Nashville know so well, even as recently as this past December, how devastating it is to walk outside after a tornado has hit and just see what was your life or your home just in your yard.
Well, I was living downtown on 2nd Avenue when the one came through downtown in '98.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Just me and my 2 cats.
Yeah. I will never. I was living in Chattanooga when the Chattanooga tornado hit. Maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks after the one hit here in 2020, and in my apartment, my parents were visiting. I will never forget hiding in my closet, and the suction of the wind outside brought my blinds to the window, and you just heard that. And then we opened my door to my apartment, and it looked like somebody threw sod at the door. I mean, it literally came to the door, and we were so lucky to be okay. And our thoughts are with everybody in the South and the Midwest right now. And if you want to help, if you just go to Red Cross, they have local chapters where you can call, you can send donations, send items, if you're looking to help those folks out that way. Yep.
Well, on a more joyous note, we've got new music to preview from a lot of our favorites, including somebody who I think this year is her 20th anniversary as a member of the Opry, Terry Clark.
Oh my gosh, yes, we love Miss Terry Clark. She is so fun, and she's so fun to watch on social media too. She's so on top of it. She has done a duet version of Now That I Found You with Ben Rector, who we love and who opened up for Old Dominion recently. Kelly and I were laughing when he's like, I'm not going to pander to you guys.
Dan and Shay.
Oh, not Old Dominion. We were both at Old Dominion, but they opened for Dan and Shay.
You live too much the party life. Can't keep these things.
Me and Kelly, we get into a lot of trouble, But yes, he was on tour with Dan and Shay. And Ben Rector, admittedly, is a very different vibe than Dan and Shay, which is kind of the point of opening acts, if you think about it, right? And he's like, I'm not going to pander to you guys. I would never do that. Whips out a cowboy hat, start singing Fishing in the Dark.
Good. I love their voices together. Yeah. And the whole project is duets. I think the first thing she released a couple of weeks ago was the one with Ashley McBryde.
Yes, exactly.
And she'll be at the Ryman. I think it's her first ever headlining show at the Ryman. I mean, she certainly played the Opry there through the years.
No, you're right. It is. It is the first headlining show.
And that's coming up in August, so tickets available at Ryman.com.
Yes, and that full duets album that's coming out that we already now have 2 tracks from. The full thing, Terry Clark Take 2, is out May 31st, so we just got to wait a little over a month for that one. And Mickey Guyton, I said earlier, I think this could be the song of the summer. This song has a really cool title. It's a new one called Scary Love, and she also announced her upcoming headlining tour. CMT on Tour presents Mickey Guyton. This track, which she co-wrote, is inspired by motherhood and her 3-year-old son, Grayson.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
She'll be at CMA Music Fest on June 7th. That's her next gig, and then the tour kicks off in the fall in September at the Buckhead Theater in Atlanta.
Love the Buckhead Theater.
Yeah. Really? You've been there?
Yes.
Yeah?
I find every way to mention Hanson on this show. Every opportunity that I get. The last show I saw before the pandemic was at the Buckhead Theater to see Hanson's Christmas album show.
Well, there we go.
Very random.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The last person in our triple threat. Yes.
Sorry. Yes. Josh Turner.
Josh Turner.
Yes.
The last person in our triple threat of new music. He is heating things up. I mean, I guess he always is. He's Josh Turner. But especially with this new song, it's the lead track from his forthcoming album. It's due out later this year. Of the newly released song, Josh says the song was kind of in the same vein as Your Man, but musically, it's just very interesting. I went into the studio to track the song, and when the first pass was over, my bassist said, my God, that first note felt like you just had a load of gravel dumped on you. So let's see if we get that sensation right now.
Yeah, brand new from Grand Ole Opry star Josh Turner.
Yes.
Yeah. And last time we saw Josh Turner, it was just about 8 days ago because he was inducting Scotty McCreery as the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry. And this Friday, T. Graham Brown becomes the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry.
And we just saw him last week for Bill's 30th anniversary celebration.
Yep. And selfishly, I'm kind of excited for me because I've never worked an induction. So I'm really,
Charlie.
I mean, not that it isn't T as well, because I love T. Graham Brown and he's been part of our WSM family for so many years. But it's just going to be really cool. Tickets available at Opry.com.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
It's a Monday morning here in America's Music City. I was joking. Well, we got 2 out of the 3 because Cody's on vacation. He'll be back on Thursday. But we definitely have the coffee and we definitely have the country. And we are thrilled this morning to welcome in studio. They've been frequent guests with us throughout the years. But Mark and Maggie O'Connor, welcome back to WSM Radio.
Fantastic.
You guys have gotten the full Nashville experience over the last 4 days. Grand Ole Opry Friday.
Yeah.
You were at the Hall of Fame Sunday in studio with us. And then an album release show tonight at the place that pressed the record. It's like this is the coolest venue.
Yeah,
So tell us about the Vinyl Lounge.
The Vinyl Lounge tonight. So the Vinyl Lab pressed our LPs. By the way, this is Maggie's first LP vinyl. You know, I hadn't released a vinyl since '89. Oh, when they actually started to phase them out.
Yeah.
So this is exciting for both of us for two different reasons.
Yeah, and I don't know how well they can see it on Circle, but it's got a beautiful gatefold cover, and much of your artwork adorns not only the cover, but then the sleeve inside. And
Maggie's painting that,
and the vinyl is a beautiful translucent blue. I mean, it's just, you guys went all out on the packaging. As a vinyl guy, trust me, we appreciate stuff like this.
Me too.
So,
I have a whole wall with probably 40 vinyl records on it, and this is just a beautiful
wonderful.
cover and a beautiful vinyl itself. Congrats. Beautiful job.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really I love it because it's such a bigger surface to showcase our artwork and what we do, and there's a lot of meaning behind every little thing, every word. We feature all of our original songs, so there's just a lot to dig into, especially
and
with
the
that
photos
packaging.
too. Each of the photos on the package are from each of the music videos that we shot. So and we shot 7 different music videos for this project.
Oh my gosh.
So there's 7 different pictures on the album, from the front to the gatefold inside, the back cover, and even in the center disc art. That's another shot from Spice of Life, which the last time we were here, you guys played that for us.
That was kind of the teaser of what was to come, right?
Yeah.
So, well, let's go back to the origin of Life After Life, because it really stemmed from 2020 and the pandemic. And there wasn't a whole lot great that came out of 2020. But one cool thing was that artists had to find a way to connect with an audience, since there was no more going out and playing gigs. And you guys came up with Mondays with Mark and Maggie.
Yes, we did. Yep, a lot of Mondays in our living room. You should have seen our living room. We turned it into our own,
television
TV studio.
Yeah.
And we did it. We tried to do it really professional. We got this fancy live streaming board. It was quite a learning curve.
We got a producer.
We had a company, Our Concerts Live, that teamed up with us and helped us out with that.
So this was not you guys winging it like this for 2 hours every Monday.
Okay.
We had
It was
like a
like
3-camera
a
shoot.
ticketed
Wow.
event.
Yeah.
And from our living room. So our living room looked like that. But
We wanted it to be really quality.
it made
good
us feel busy,
sound.
too, because we were like, I was going, man, I'm going to go stir crazy without being able to
Mark's
play
got to
music.
perform.
I've been
He's got to.
I've been performing since I was a kid. Before I could even remember I was performing. And I had never not performed until the pandemic. And there was nobody to play for. And that's one of the, if somebody asked me a secret about my musical success, it's like, I think it's the ability to communicate to an audience through your instruments. And you take that away, and you feel like you're losing half yourself.
Yeah, it's like our purpose was gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't. We don't do this just to play to ourselves in our living room. We need that communication.
Yeah. But instead of thunderous applause, instant comments, though, is a different way of getting that feedback right away,
Well,
right?
after a few weeks, we started to run out of material that we knew.
Right.
So we started looking for covers that we wanted to work up, and then we started writing material. And we would workshop and showcase them on our Monday night concerts, and we would tease the next Monday. And we got a song almost ready. We're going to play for you. And so the final cut of all of that activity ends up being on the album. We wrote a lot more songs than what's on the album. Then we came to Nashville when things started to come down and get more decent out there. And we cut it right here at Sound Emporium A. And it was a great, great session for us because Alison Krauss and Robert Plant was just leaving the studio.
Oh,
wow.
my God.
It was all warmed up for a couple of weeks. And we used their engineers, their bass player, some of their musicians.
Walked into a good vibe.
Man,
Yeah.
The vibe was there.
The vibe was there, and we just just kept going. And we had great tracking sessions here in Nashville, and we were so happy. So, it just kind of evolved. Maggie and I met as two fiddlers, and that's how our musical relationship started.
Yeah, we
on
didn't
the
even
fiddle.
sing, and
Yeah.
so it's got life after life has so many meanings we can put on it. Life after the pandemic.
Yep.
It's also the many chapters of Mark's own career. He's lived 5 lifetimes.
Wow.
As a musician, starting out as a kid champion fiddler, and doing the country music as a kid and the fiddle competitions, and then you went on to being
The
a rock
sessions,
band
yeah.
and the
Well,
dregs.
yeah, the
then
dregs.
one of the top session players in Nashville on 450 albums. Then you decided to leave that and go into classical, write 9 concertos,
And those are such different skills, and both of you can
I
do
know.
both ends of that spectrum great. And
Well,
tell me if I'm correct about this, though. When you're hired for a session and they want a fiddle solo, they want your creativity. I'm assuming they want the genius that you can bring to ad lib and make this extra special.
That is true.
When you're a young kid playing contests and you're playing classical music, the last thing they want is your interpretation of something. They want it note for note perfect, right? And those are two very different skills.
Well, in classical competition, they want the masterworks.
Yes.
But in fiddle competitions, the ones that I entered,
Okay.
they did want your creativity.
Oh, so that okay.
Yeah, because fiddling is all about your interpretation of the old tunes. And even though we had teachers, I had one of the greatest fiddle teachers ever, Benny Thomason. I got to mention we were at the Country Music Hall of Fame yesterday for our showcase, and the very first recording professionally of country music is a fiddler. It was Eck Robertson in 1922. That's 2 years ago?
Yeah, wow.
Eck Robertson was the teacher of my teacher, Benny Thomason, out of Texas as well. So 3 generations spanning, 150 years. It's incredible to think about. So I had great teachers, but immediately fiddle music is about your interpretation, your creativity. What are you bringing to the music? Actually, that's what American music really is.
Sure.
Even Gershwin, we're celebrating his 100th birthday this year, and his interpretation of jazz, what made him famous too. So everything in Americana. That's why we love the label Americana too, because everything that we do, Maggie and I, fit into that Americana country thing now, especially with this album.
Yeah.
Mark, how would you describe what your special, what you bring to creativity on the fiddle? The words you would use to describe your special spice, if you would.
Well, there's a certain amount of improvisation. What's really cool about the Life After Life album is Maggie's playing the fiddle solos and I'm playing the guitar solos. So I also grew up as a guitar player, but I'm playing the fiddle when Maggie's not. So when she's singing, I'm playing fiddle in the background like a session player.
Yep.
So I'm using some of my old session playing skills.
So you booked yourself.
I booked myself. I was producer.
Quite a few times too, because there's actually a ton of instruments on this album. We have that was also a benefit of being stuck at home. We're with more of our instruments that we can't take on the road with us, and we have some incredible ones. There's this 1865 Martin that Mark has.
That's on this album.
Gorgeous old guitar. I mean,
Oh,
Civil
wow.
War
Civil
era.
War.
Yeah, well, obviously, yes.
I mean,
wow.
the things this instrument's been through. So that's featured. He kind of features it almost like an electric guitar. Everything on this album is acoustic, though.
Yeah.
And it's just the sound garden that we created. Mark plays viola. Viola's like our secret ingredient. It's kind of in everything, even though you don't know it's there.
And Maggie plays cello too.
I played cello.
She
on
learned to
there.
play cello during the pandemic, and she got so good within a year. I said, we got to put some of that on the album. So there's 2 cuts where
We even made ourselves into a string quartet,
Yeah.
and then we do a Stevie Wonder cover, and we actually created an orchestra just between Mark and myself, and a bunch
We
of
were the
violins
jams.
and violas and cellos that we could find.
we stacked, like we each played the violin, we each played the viola. and the cello, and we stacked and we made an orchestra for the background strings for one of the songs on the album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
And your voice is so, I mean, I knew your playing was superb, but your voice is just so beautiful. And I think the folks heard that
you.
for sure at the Grand Ole Opry on Friday as well. So
I know I have to pinch myself because I've spent so much of my life training as an instrumentalist, as a violinist. You know, I went to a conservatory
Sure.
for classical violin performance.
Yeah.
I never imagined I would be here, you know, singing on a vocal album with Mark O'Connor. It's just amazing where life can take you. But I love all of this music so much, and I feel like it's so genuine to who we are as well. We've brought both of our backgrounds, you know, the life after life coming together. Because we started out just playing instruments together. Then we were in a family band, and we got more into the singing and Americana styles again. Mark picked up
Through the
guitar
family.
again after like 20 years of not playing guitar.
Grammy Award-winning family band, may I say.
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
right. Yes.
In studio with Mark and Maggie O'Connor, Life After Life is the new album. They were at the Grand Ole Opry on Friday, the Country Music Hall of Fame on Sunday. They'll be at the Vinyl Lounge for an album release show. You can pick yourself up one of these in person. I bet you they autograph it if you ask really nice. Well, I think as long as you pay for it, they'll autograph it. But Mark and Maggie are in studio with us as well, and they're going to perform live. Just let me brag on you just a little bit. They are both Grammy Award winners. Mark is a 7-time CMA Musician of the Year and a 2009 inductee into the National Fiddler Hall of Fame. Tulsa? Am I right?
That is.
Yes.
Oklahoma.
You know, my favorite Riders in the Sky bit is when they mention that Woody Paul is a member of that same Hall of Fame. And
Same year too.
really?
I think both Woody Paul and I, yes.
Oh, wow. And Too Slim always goes, and in the living category.
Perfect.
But you guys are going to play something from the new album for us.
Yeah, we are. We got the guitar and the fiddle, and so we're going to do a song that I wrote for the album. It's called One Sunray at a Time. It's about watching my daughter grow up. The first verse deals with the young years and going to amusement park rides, and then second verse goes into teenage years, and my daughter's 13 now, so she's growing through this song.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
One sunray at a time.
Well, I've got a 10-year-old, so I'm kind of on the journey
yeah.
with you on
yes.
this.
Well,
So.
this is for all you parents out there.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, just delightful.
Stunning.
Yeah.
So between doing 7 music videos for this project, obviously you did the artwork on your CD, on your vinyl. You're such a phenomenal painter. You've been so intentional with this project. Clearly this must have taken so much time and intentionality to plan. What pieces came together first, and how obvious was it? Oh, we need to do 7 music videos. I mean, that's awesome.
Actually, that was the first song, the One Sunray at a Time, and it's such a heartfelt song about my daughter, and there was a period of time during the pandemic where we couldn't visit, and she was just 10 years old, exactly the age of Charlie's daughter now. And then I remember one time we visited and we had masks on because we were nervous, we were scared, And it was I just wanted to write a song about my love for my daughter. And I couldn't imagine how many parents were going through some of the same things that were not actually living, with their children, but were visiting. And then there was like quarantine time and all that stuff going on, right? And so that was really the impetus for this recording, this whole album project was like we wanted to delve into love of life after being frightened by it, learning to love life again. And it just compelled all the other songs to come afterwards.
Yeah, I told you I listened to it start to finish on my way into the Opry on Friday, and the sequencing is beautiful too. Because I'm one of those old school people who actually likes to listen to a record the way the artist intends me to listen to it. So, and it flows really well. I don't know how much time was spent on it, but the sequencing works really. It's a beautiful.
We love that too.
Yeah.
We took a lot of thought and time into that as well. I love listening to albums like that as
Yeah.
well.
Well, especially with vinyl, you got to decide what's going to end side A and what's going to start side B, because that's an important mood.
It's a whole journey.
Indeed, yeah.
It's like a journey, like the song, each song is a journey, but the entire album is also, and we actually end with this really striking melody. It's a Ukrainian folk song. You'll see at the very end.
I'm going to let you pronounce it.
Yes. Verbovaya Dosheshka.
Okay.
I think that's how you say it.
All right.
And we had this unique experience at the beginning of the invasion of Ukraine. We were contacted by some people from Ukraine, violinists that were in bomb shelters and, preparing for this, but also practicing their violins. And so we wanted to be a part of this violin choir that was online. We submitted our playing with them on this Ukrainian folk song, and it was so haunting and beautiful. It went viral, and it was on all the news. It was Violinists Support Ukraine. But Mark and I were so moved by that experience that he wanted to make his own duet version, violin duo. And so we actually recorded it at Belmont University, their brand new Fisher
Oh, it's a
Center.
beautiful facility.
We were the first people to perform there. They invited us after the pandemic
wow.
Special.
to open it and just show off the acoustics of the room, because we're very acoustic.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And we wanted to showcase that. And after that, we loved the room so much, we wanted to know if we could record this haunting duet. So it's different than everything else on the album. But
The love of democracy.
Yeah.
And that's really how we end our album. It's just looking for more freedom, and with music, I think it allows people to be more free. And I think that's what is our American culture. Everybody loves music and relates to it. And it's great to be on this end of it, communicating that.
Well, we have time for one more. If you'd like to do one live,
yeah.
Do we have time? Are we good?
Of course
you're
we
the
do.
keeper of the time.
We can do one more.
Okay, all right.
Gathered around the mic. We did
man,
this.
my bow decided to explode. I've never seen that many hairs break. Usually I break one if I do break one.
We have tuners, we have picks. I don't know if we have any
That's
spare
the one
bows
thing
lying
we
around
don't
in the
have.
studio.
Hair. That was crazy. I think I got them all.
I know. Glad that circle accent.
Yeah.
That was iconic. Oh my gosh. If you're
The little things,
if you're only listening on the radio right now and not watching on Circle Country, Maggie's bow just absolutely imploded.
It exploded. I was a little worried that would happen, because that was unusual the first song.
Live with Mark and Maggie O'Connor. The new album is Life After Life. Maggie's going online to see if there's a bow recall anywhere she can get this fixed for free. New album out now. CD release, album release at the Vinyl Lounge tonight. Mark and Maggie O'Connor. We're wrapping up the Monday morning extravaganza of Coffee, Country, and Cody. I'm Charlie Mattos with Eryn Cooper. It's been a fun morning, and I'm going to tease you to something ahead tomorrow. Now, I can't say too much about this, but I will tell you that we will have tickets to a Ryman residency that we will announce tomorrow. But it will be a win 'em before you can buy 'em opportunity. That's all I can say. So you want to tune in tomorrow for a chance to win tickets. It's going to be a really great show. I just can't say who yet. You'll find out tomorrow morning on Coffee, Country, and Cody. What's on your agenda for the rest of the day?
All right. Well, I'm a one-woman band for our social, so I'm going to edit some stuff for that and put this show up on YouTube if you care to see it again. And I might go to a concert tonight. An Australian musician called Blake Rose is playing over at the end here in Nashville.
All right. Just a one-woman band. Big hit for Old Dominion. No, that was one man. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Kelly's back. Take care.